on the streets of Mexico City. He is joining us now on the phone. Rashad, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, there he is. You're in Mexico, right?
Yes, yeah.
What's it like over there in Mexico?
It's not bad at all, actually. It kind of feels like, I mean, it's definitely not America, but it doesn't feel as bad as, it doesn't feel bad at all, to be honest.
How,
one of the nice places I've been.
How long ago did you get there? You're fighting on Saturday. When did you arrive?
Oh, man, I've been here for weeks, probably about, 3 weeks now.
Wow. And obviously you wanted to get acclimated to the high altitude, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to, get used to altitude, get used to the air quality, get used to the food. The food's a big one to get used to.
Uh-huh.
It took me about a week and a half, 2 weeks to get used to the food.
Do you feel like you're used to it or not yet? All of that?
No, I feel like I'm used to it. I feel like I'm definitely used to it. I'm not getting, I don't get, my stomach doesn't get upset when I eat anymore. So it's pretty good. It's leveled out pretty well.
What was it like when you got there as far as, the altitude and all that? Did it feel much different? Was it a shock to your system?
No, honestly, it wasn't a shock to my system at all. Like the first day I got here, I went for, hour and a half run and I had a pretty good pace, really, really high. And I felt great. I felt like I did when I was, at sea level. But then the next couple of days, it caught up to me. So then the next couple of days, like the day after, and then probably the second or third day, I felt the fatigue kick in.
Were you surprised, Rashad, when you were offered this fight in Mexico City? You don't have ties. Alvey doesn't have ties. It seemed a little bit random and out of place. What was your reaction?
I didn't really give it too much thought, and good thing I didn't. Because I wouldn't have done it if I really thought about it. But I was just in a place where, I just wanted to fight. I wanted to fight, and I got tired of sitting around. And I just, that in-between zone where you're just, coming off a loss and you really want to compete and, you want to get back on track. You'll take any fight. And I took this one, but it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because it actually forced me to do what I needed to do, which is, get out of my comfort zone.
How about the matchup? Because when you were last on the show, you were talking about the likes of Anderson Silva. You were talking about some big names. Alvey is not that guy. Right. What did you think when they offered you him?
I don't really care, to be honest, man. I think that Alvey's a tough guy, and I think that he's somebody who I definitely been watching fight. But at this point where I'm at, I just want to compete and just get back on track again. That's the most important thing for me right now in my career is just getting back on track, getting some wins under my belt, and just get back into the groove of things.
Right. Does it feel like this is do or die for you, Rashad?
It doesn't. It doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'll win, and it's something that I feel it. Inside of me more than anything. It's something I really, really want to do. So it is and it isn't. I don't feel like I put the pressure on myself. Because when you put it in a situation where it's like, oh my God, it's do or die, you tense up and you're not relaxed enough to let the fight flow. So, I know this is a very important fight, but I want to win. But if I don't, life goes on, and that's just the way it is.
So you're not saying things like, oh, if I don't win, I'm going to walk away. If I do win, you're not thinking about terms like that.
No, I'm not thinking like that. I'm just trying to compete, man, and that's it. And wherever it leads, and and that's all I can do. The thing about it is, anything in life, you can worry yourself to death about trying to have the perfect scenario and trying to have everything work out the way you want to work out. But the reality of the situation is life has its own plans and things unfold the way they unfold, and you just got to be able to just deal with whatever happens, and that's just what it comes down to. Everything else is just what you want, but being resilient enough and knowing who you are inside can get you through anything.
The road to the fight, the training camp, you switched things up. You were in New Jersey. You were with Mark Henry and the team over there, and they seemed very excited about what you were doing. Did you enjoy the road? Like, are you still enjoying the process of getting ready for a fight?
Yeah, I am. And when I went to Mark Henry's out in Jersey, I was staying at Mr. Jerry's, Frankie Edgar's father-in-law's house in the basement. And, when I got there, I was just like, oh, man, I felt like I took a step back, because the basement is nice and stuff like that, but it kind of felt like, it had that college dorm feeling. It's the same kind of feeling that I had when, I used to go and train at Jackson's, and I used to live above the gym. And I felt like I just, kind of regressed. And I'm like, man, I've already paid my dues. Why not gotta live and go through this again? And I wanted to go home. I was very close to just calling up my manager Ali and just like, look, dude, I'm done. I don't want to train here. And then something told me just to stick it out. Stick it out for a couple of days, and then after a while, it just got easier and easier to the point I really embraced it and I really enjoyed it. And I made the best of the situation. I got some really good training out there with Corey Anderson and Carl, the guy who just won the contender. And then, a couple other guys, Nick Catone Gym and Frankie Edgar's Gym, and working with Mark Henry has been a blessing too. So, I really enjoyed my training in New Jersey.
When you said initially you were like, I'm not really feeling this, what were you going to do? Were you going to go back to Florida? What were you thinking?
Yeah, I was probably going to go back to Florida and just figure something out there, and just do it like that. But, in Florida for a while, I've just been my own coach. And, I've been in the game for 15 years, and I know what I should and shouldn't do. But at the end of the day, I like to be coached. I like to have someone, be like, hey, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to do it. I'm one of those kind of athletes who competes for the coaches, and that's what I've always done. So I need that coach to be like, hey, this is what we're doing. And, and in Florida, it just wasn't that kind of atmosphere, just too much and too many things going on. Henry Hoof is, doing his own thing, and he's killing it. There's Hoof kickboxing and things like that. So, I had to make a decision for myself to, go somewhere so I could be coached.
How's the weight cut going?
Going pretty good. The first couple of days in weight cut is miserable, but I'm pretty good. Weight's pretty good. I trained this morning, and I'll probably train again right now tonight, and get some more weight off me. But the key thing here right now is to just trust that all the work is done. Trust all the work is done. Just trust your body, and not do too much to wear yourself out for Saturday. But you got to get the weight off. So can't just sit around. So I got to sweat a bit and just hopefully not take too much out of my gas tank for Saturday.
Did you consider going back up to 205, or do you feel like 185 is the best place for you at this point?
I think 185 is the best place. After being here and really just getting comfortable with the diet and things like that. Just feeling my body at this weight, I feel like it's the most natural way for me. My body's changing, and it's getting leaner, and I've been doing a lot of cardio, and that's part of the biggest reason why it's just kind of toned up and leaned up a bit, and it's kind of I really enjoy it like this. So I'll stay at 185.
I got to ask you about we just heard from a friend of yours, Rumble Johnson, who says that he would come back if offered the right deal for a fight against Jon Jones. Does this surprise you, or do you think that he will come back eventually?
Nah, I think he'll come back for sure. Rumble has a lot of fight left in him. That's just the truth of the matter. When he retired, I felt it was something that he did for a couple of different reasons, but one of the most reasons why, I didn't feel like he was done that. I feel like he still had that rumble inside of him, And when you step away from the sport, it gives you a perspective that you don't have when you're in close. And that's probably what he's seen. He's probably seen that, the perspective, like, okay, well, I can get there. I can be a champion and things like that. And, climbing the wall, fighting DC twice, losing to him twice, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating just dealing with the whole anxiety, the pressure, dealing with coaches, dealing with just the whole politics of it. And that's one thing that people don't really understand. There's more to fighting than just getting inside the cage and fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Just dealing with the whole shenanigans, dealing with managers, dealing with coaches, and it gets to be a production sometimes. It's I could see why somebody would want to walk away for all of those reasons. You know what I'm saying?
It's exhausting at times, right?
It's too much. It's too much, and it takes a lot of resilience. And I am those people who've been in camps and been with the same coach their whole career. That takes a lot of relationship work and a lot of pride swallowing and putting your ego to a side to work for good. And that's what a lot of coaches are not willing to do.
Did you watch the main event on Saturday?
I did watch it.
I'm just curious.
I did watch it.
What did you think afterwards, with Cormier being interviewed and the emotion, and then people, posting pictures and some, making light of it? I think he's gotten a lot of support, but that just, what you guys do takes so much courage. And I know you're getting paid for it. I know you're not going to war, but you're standing in a cage, someone's closing a door, and you're essentially weaponless, just your limbs. You're fighting another man. And people take shots. Look, I'm reminded. I'm sure you still see the pictures of the Machida knockout, right? And people making fun of you. And it just, I don't understand the mindset of someone who would do that. What did you, when you saw DC like that? He probably shouldn't have been interviewed, right? What were you thinking? I know you're friends with him too.
I was fascinated. Honestly, I shed a tear for him just because I really wanted him to feel like that, and. Even think about it now, I feel bad for him, but it's part of the sport. We go out there and we want to make an exciting fight, and we want to give a good build up for the fight. And sometimes you're the guy who looks like a hero and looks like you backed up your words. Sometimes you're the guy who has a eye full of tears and you're walking away feeling totally shattered. And that's just the way it is, But I know DC will be all right from this. It's just a tough loss. He was doing really good in that fight, and he just got really complacent in front of a very, very dangerous man. And Jon, to his credit, showed why he is, the best to ever put on 4-ounce gloves. And I don't like how the internet doesn't have any mercy about anything. But people just are not sensitive, and they don't really think. I know DC is somebody they never know, but people have feelings, and it makes it hard. But one thing I've learned is that you gotta be able to laugh at yourself, and being able to laugh at yourself. It takes a sting off other people laughing at you.
Do you think if DC and Jones fight 10 times that Jones wins every time?
That's a really tough thing to say and a tough question, to answer because I truly felt if and it sounds crazy to say if you didn't catch him with a kick, right? But I felt like DC was on the right track, and I felt like he was definitely in the right direction. And saying if he didn't catch him with that kick is like saying, that's a huge if, because if it wasn't the kick, then it may have been a punch, and then it may have been a knee. And that just goes to show just the tools that Jones has in his arsenal. So it's really hard to say if he'll beat him all 10 times. But, Jones he's just dynamic. He's just dynamic. And honestly speaking, I don't think that we've even seen the best of him. I think that, maybe his new lifestyle and just kind of being at peace with who he is, being at peace with being the guy who gets booed, being at peace with, not being that perfect person, not being that ambassador for Christianity that he came out with when he first started. I think that now he's able to be free enough to compete how he truly can.
I don't feel like we saw the best Jon Jones on Saturday. I know he won, but I still feel like he can turn it up a notch. I think he was out for a year and a half, and he's just kind of he's still have to work through some things. I think if we see him again, he'll look even better. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That's one of the things that I was thinking when I was watching it. He's done a lot of different things and a lot of nice, beautiful motions, switching stances. The great fit-ins with the punches on the switching stances and kicks and stuff like that. He got backed up a lot. He had a really hard time with controlling the octagon with DC, and that takes time. When you're off and when you're off like how he was, and you're not competing and stuff like that. It's a lot to deal with. He had a huge emotional dump just even getting into the octagon, because just getting back into the octagon was a huge achievement for him. With everything that he was facing outside of the octagon prior to this fight.
Last thing for you, Rashad, you have sort of flown under the radar going into this fight. Could you put us inside the mind of someone in your position, and you're like, foreign soil? This is, everyone, they ask you the questions like I did, do or die, things like that. How do you stay within yourself, stay on the task at hand, remain confident? I know it's so tough as a fighter, and everyone's coming at you and wanting to talk to you and wanting to ask you what's next and how will you rebound if this or that happens. I'm sure it's somewhat lonely over there in Mexico to a degree. It's very different. It's very foreign. You've not fought there before. What is going through your minds as the clock sort of ticks down to Saturday?
Just trust in myself. Just trust and believe in myself and my training more than anything. And, because that's all I have, to be honest. I've just been isolated this whole camp. I went from Jersey, then I went from Jersey to Mexico City. So, the name of this camp has just been finding comfort in uncomfortable situations. So I found my way to feel some kind of comfort. I found some way to feel that security that you feel when you're at home, when you have all the support behind you. And but it all starts with me believing in me. And I think that's one of the biggest things that's got me on the streak that I have, this losing streak, is just that I lost faith in me.
You believe?
I believe. Oh, I believe. I believe more than ever.
I wish you nothing but the best, Rashad. Thank you for the time. I know you don't want to do a lot of media going into this fight, so I really appreciate you coming on and talking to us. And I know a lot of people are pulling for you and would love to see you back on top. Good luck on Saturday. Good luck the rest of the way leading up to Saturday over there in Mexico, and we'll certainly be watching and hoping for the best for you.
Thank you, my brother. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, there he is, Rashad Evans, stopping by. Fascinating insight. We were talking before, just where he's at and the streak that he's on, and the opponent is a former champion, and you can kind of hear it in his voice, sort of the calm before the storm of fight night. There's a lot at stake for Rashad, and what resonated most with me was when he said finding comfort in uncomfortable situations. Here he is in Mexico City, of all places, with his back against the wall. You got to beat Sam Alvey.